Hello and welcome back. This is episode 14 of the Teachings of Zed. I hope you've been able and interested enough to follow me through the previous episodes and have given yourself time to consider the words, even if you find something a bit challenging. As I said before, what these teachings offer isn't a new religion. We don't need any more grand buildings or people in authority to tell us what God thinks. And these teachings are more than lessons in morality, for surely we've been on this planet long enough to know right from wrong, even if we don't practice it. Now, what these teachings offer, if you listen carefully, is a coherent pathway of understanding the laws that govern the universe, of the energy of the universe, and how each one of us, each and every individual, is an important component of the whole. For this is new age, is the age of spiritual self-discovery. And hopefully our awareness of this fact will be raised in time to save the planet. So in this episode, we are given a unique insight into the nature of energy. And I'm going to read the words as they were received. Science, as you know it on Earth, is the part of mysticism that can be measured. For 3,000 years, energy has been written about by great teachers, and in time, science will discover how the measurement of spiritual energy may be achieved. In the meantime, it is not our intention to divulge the secrets of the universe, for such would destroy the karma of the world, but only to correct the wrong opinion that spiritual energy is related to light waves. If that were the case, you would be able to see and measure it. The fact that you cannot does not mean that it does not exist. To explain further, we give you 4 words. 1, universal. 2, cosmic. 3, dynamic. And 4, energy. By universal, we mean it is available everywhere. It is omnipresent. By cosmic, we mean it transcends time and space. By dynamic, we mean it motivates. It can be used. It is alive. And by energy, we mean it is a spiritual force. Light travels at 186,000 miles a second, and science currently assumes that this is the fastest means of travel within the universe. Light is composed of waves and particles that are susceptible to the force of gravity. Within the terms of science as you know it, that is correct. However, man's direct link to spiritual energy is not light, but thought. For thought is instantaneous. Cosmic energy is the creative force of the universe. It was there before its conception and not as a consequence. It is instantaneous throughout the universe. It knows no time, no distance. because thought is directly linked to the cosmic force. The energy in terms of what you think lives forever. The concept may be mind-blowing, but if thought transcends time and space, then its consequences are limitless. The energy is universal and constant. It can be used for different purposes. The way it is motivated is by thought. And the greater the spiritual awareness of the individual, the greater their access to the energy. So the thoughts of a healer, for example, will carry energy motivated by thoughts of love and compassion. And the recipient of the energy will then interpret it as they wish for healing themselves. Be aware, therefore, that thought is a powerful instrument, a tool that can be used for good or ill. Consider then the importance of being aware of your thoughts at every moment, for you truly are masters of your own destiny. The danger with human beings is in achieving purity of thought at all times. For the unkind thoughts you have throughout the day not only hurt others, but yourself. It is therefore important to train the mind to have good thoughts. The first stage in this training is to be critical of your own thoughts, to become aware of unkind or unhelpful thoughts. The second stage is to be tolerant of the thoughts of others. If you can learn to return unkind thoughts with kindness and love, then it neutralizes the animosity they bring. It is like throwing an angry stone into a pond and large ripples go outwards. But with good thoughts, you pour oil on the water and the ripples have less effect. If you apply these basic principles, then you will be on the right road. All the great teachers and all the great theologians through history have advocated this, but few have achieved it. It is a fact that spiritual ways are not complicated or difficult to understand, but they are very hard to practice. As you develop the power of thought and learn about its consequences, so your mind becomes more spiritually aware. And as we have said, the more spiritually aware you become, the greater energy your thought will carry. Then from the resulting increase in awareness comes the ability to control your thought and use it in a better way. The third and essential step in this process is meditation, for it is the key that unlocks the door to your higher self. Everything reacts to thought. Human beings, plants and animal life, and the planet itself. And every thought, every movement makes its impression on the universe. It therefore follows that the energy created by collective thought has great impact. So groups who gather to pray or meditate together attune their thoughts collectively to a spiritual direction and thus generate a powerful energy of love. But your personal path can only be achieved through looking inwards. When you look around, You see life as it is, as the Creator made it. So what you think about is what you see. This is so for any kind of environment you occupy, whether at work, at home, or elsewhere. For what you see is what you think about. But when you meditate, you still the mind and see what is within, and so raise your awareness. How else can you find your higher self except within yourself? For the spiritual staircase is within, not outside. But all the meditating in the world is of no use unless you practice what you learn from it. Those were the words. I think you will agree there's a great deal to consider there, a lot to absorb and to ponder over and to take into your meditations. Finally, in this episode, I would like to add what, to me as an interested observer, is a ray of sanity in the male-dominated world of religion that I spoke of in previous episodes. This is the news that the Church of England has, for the first time, elected a woman to its highest office, that of Archbishop of Canterbury. Accepting women as priests and then bishops over the past few years has been a hard-fought battle within the Anglican community. And yet, considering its 500-year-old history, I personally would compare this appointment to my old Ford Fiesta going from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 3 seconds. As our teachings say, the higher self is spiritually equal, whether it chooses a male or a female vehicle. But perhaps the feminine attributes of gentleness and wisdom will help bring the balance and peace that is so desperately needed in this world. Thank you so much for being with me. Goodbye.